Hey, how's it going everyone? Shuirozen here. Welcome back to a little bit of a different video. Those of you know my friend Luci I play with on the Neighbors SMP reached out to me and was like, I want to be part of Tea Time with Shuirozen, and I was like, yes, absolutely. I've never said yes to something so quickly in my life. And so today I think we're just hanging out with Luci and we're gonna do like Tea Time with Luci. It's a little late for both of us, later for Luci than me, but we're gonna be hanging out, working on some paths and just chatting. And I'm really excited because this could turn into something really cool I could do with a lot of different people.
I'm ready.
Okay, hello.
Yo. Okay. Oh man, where should we start? Long ago, in a land far, far away. Now I'm embarrassed.
No, don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed.
Oh man. Okay. Well, this is usually tea time with Shuirozen, but I'm the guest today, so
yeah, we got tea time with Luci.
tea time with Luci. All right, I'll just hop into it.
Okay.
And then it'll start flowing, you know?
There we go. There we go. I like it.
Okay. So I guess my tea time. It's so hard to work. I don't know how you do stuff and talk.
I don't get anything done. That's the secret.
That's the secret.
Here, I'll kind of do the grunt work while you kind of talk. If you just tell me what you want.
Oh, you just do what you. I'm just making it pass. I don't know. Okay. Well, about a year and a half ago, and this is some work tea, so it works. It works with you. You having some work tea lately?
Yeah.
So it fits. I lived in a different state, and at the time, I had lost like the gig that I was working on, and so I had to get another job. And when I had like a part-time spa job, which was, you know, interesting of itself, you know.
That sounds dope.
You never want to mess with a woman's spa day. Something I learned. They get really mad. Women scare me.
Me too. Me too.
They get so mad. But there was another job that I really enjoyed, sort of, and that was at the Humane Society in town. And you might think, oh, it's all amazing fluffy animals and puppy dogs. It wasn't great. It was actually pretty miserable.
Oh no.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what today's story is about. So I had a really hard time. So in general, I really loved the job. Job was really great. I was like the cat caretaker, so I took care of the cats and whatnot. That was really fun. I got to snuggle them whenever I wanted to, and it was cute playing with kittens all day. Yeah, that was a blast. But the coworkers were not so great. And I think a lot of people can probably relate to that, not having the best of coworkers. But so yeah, I worked my butt off. This place was horribly what's the word? They had too many animals than they were legally allowed to have. If they were to get like inspected, all of these they would get shut down. You know, who knows what would happen to those animals, right? Like
yeah,
they'd probably just get put down.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So wasn't good. Not the best place. But you know, they tried their best and I understood that. But it got really, really toxic. I used to like try and I don't know, from you know, as I'm older I realized like I might have tried to buy friendship, but like I'd be like, hey guys, let me go buy you some lunch or something like that.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And you know, yeah, and they'd be grateful for it, and then but they're just the type of people that would just like I think talk behind your back, which isn't cool.
I understand that, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know, it just wasn't where I was meant to be. It's been like a year and a half, so I haven't really like thought about this, but it's a crazy whirlwind here. Anyway, let's see. So the job itself was like scooping all the cat litter boxes and changing out all their linens and feeding them and things like that. So first, you know, this was a part-time job. my boyfriend had also got lost his job. So he was on unemployment and couldn't work. So he could get unemployment. And, that's the whole other thing. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get these 2 jobs because I need something too. So, that's where I found that job. And I was like, this will be perfect. I love animals. So, there we are. And I work my butt off. The place is too full. It's absolutely disgusting.
Oh no.
Like, you walk in, it just smells awful.
No.
But I was like, it's fine. Like, it's cats. It's gonna smell like cats. It's like that meme, it's like, there's cows outside. We're on a farm. We're gonna have cows outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it doesn't smell great. The job is to clean, and I was like, okay. Well, they were expecting to have their spring inspection, and I was like, okay. I would love to stay like an hour or 2 every day extra, because I was only part-time. I worked like 5 hours a day. I was like, I'll stay a couple hours extra every day and try and deep clean a bunch of stuff. So they had like a closet that just had like pee everywhere, and it was just awful.
What?
And I it's cats. They would get in and everything. It was just nasty.
Okay.
Very nasty. So I deep cleaned one of their closets and reorganized stuff, and I honestly, I think I did a lot, which I don't think they think I did a lot, but we'll get to that. So, it was all great, fine and dandy. I was happy where I was at first, of course, because you always think it's like, oh, it's so great, so nice to be somewhere new,
Yeah.
And then then the Fire Nation attacked, and okay, good, you get that reference. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't really great. Okay, so I spend a few hours each day doing a little bit extra, and then I get a call from my manager, and she's like, yo, what's all these hours for? And I'm like, well, because we don't have a time clock. We just tell her how many hours at the end of the week we work, which is already just like a big oof. That's not managed very well.
That would not happen in California.
That's how it was. So I think I had clocked, I don't remember how much it was, but she was like, where did you get these hours? And I was like, well, here's, I had this many days this day, and I broke it down for her. And she's like, I can't pay this. Yeah, the owner of the place was like, the lady who owned the Humane Society, she was like, she's not gonna accept this or whatever. And I'm like, I had gone up to her, and because they were like, oh no, we need to deep clean and do all this stuff because we could get shut down because we have too many animals and this place is nasty. And I was like, oh, I thought I was doing something good by staying extra. And I had been like, hey, I would like a couple of hours. I can stay and help deep clean and do stuff like that. And I was like, she was like, sure, that's fine. And I was like, do you have a max amount of hours that I am allowed to work? Because I don't want to overwork, if you guys, don't have the funds for it. So I was very open and clear about it. And she was like, no, that's fine. You can have overtime. And I was like, okay. So, I took that as okay, let's just work an hour or 2 extra. So instead of working 8 a.m. to 12, I would work 8 a.m. to 2 or something like that. Some days more, some days less. It kind of just depended when I got my stuff done. Yeah, so she's like, I can't pay this. And I was like, okay, well, just take off X amount of hours. It's fine. I can just consider that as donating my time to the animals. I understand, it's fine. And then things just started to get so much worse and so toxic. So I would be working pretty much constantly, and it doesn't sound like it's a hard job. It's actually kind of back-breaking. Used cat litter is so heavy. You'd have to change out the trash can so much because it would just get so incredibly heavy. And so how it worked was there was just one person doing taking care of the cats. And then there were 2 people that took care of the dogs. I had 5 hours. They would get done about the same time. But there was one person who was a full-time, and I was like, I want all these hours and I want to work, but they would do like, the bare minimum, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they would sit in the office with the manager and just play on their phones and talk crap about everybody and previous workers and things. And I just kind of like, let on with it, just like whatever. Because the way they explain stuff, like XYZ was like really mean. The guy who's full-time, he's like my age at the time, he's like 23 or something. He was like, yeah, my ex used to do this job and she stole my car and my cat and blah blah blah.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
No, you're good. No, it's kind of funny. And I'm like, oh no, I'm so sorry, and I was like, I hate like the way that they were painting the story. I was like, man, I'm so sorry. Like, if there's anything I can do, like, let me know. Like, I'm here. And like, for example, the guy just wasn't very friendly, even.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't do well with like people who just aren't friendly.
Yeah.
Like, it's just really hard to like communicate with them. Like, you want to be their friend, but they're just like, they just don't care. Like, for example, the guy's car stopped working. And I was like, hey, if you just need a jump start, I have this like jump starter that like really quick, you could just try it. And he's like, no, I'm just gonna take it to the shop. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Or he had to call somebody, like a tow truck.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, whenever the tow truck came there, the guy just jumped his car and it was fine. And I was like, you could have saved so much time. But he wasn't friendly. Like he didn't like nicely decline this. He was just like I don't need your help, kind of. So that wasn't great. I was trying to be nice, but I get it. Some people just don't want help from other people, and that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it was after the whole like thing of where I was working too many hours or whatever, and they couldn't pay me. That's kind of like when it started getting worse. So, like I said, this guy and the manager would just chit chat and gossip about people in the office for hours without doing any work on the Humane Society's dime, wasting precious like money and funds that could be going to like bettering the lives of these like really poor animals,
Yeah.
which is just like really sucky, just sad. But I didn't really do anything about it. Like, obviously it's not my place. I was like, whatever. But then let's see, trying to remember, like, I guess they just didn't like me after that. I guess they were like talking about me because I was just making problems, I guess. I have no clue. But they were very passive aggressive in the group chat. So we just had like a big text group chat. And around this time, I think it was like Christmassy time or something, they started just getting like really mean. And I don't like passive aggressive. Like, if there's something wrong, I don't think you should passive aggressively send a message in a group chat.
Yeah, let's address it.
Yeah, like, speak to the manager, then have the manager address it. Not let's be like, somebody's doing XYZ or something like that. It's just, I had that with the spa job too. It was like, this person hasn't swept the floor. It's just like, dude, just talk to the manager. Yeah. It's just very immature people, and it's just not cool. But anyway, I can't remember exactly what they did, but I got a message one morning, and it was from the group chat. Oh, story time. Hold on. Story time within the story time. Legally, they were supposed to have like pictures and names of like all the cats and stuff put up on a cork board or something in the cat room, as well as like collars with their names on them.
Oh,
like they were supposed to legally have that or something. And this place, they would have, so they didn't have that obviously because they sit in the room and would talk crap about people and not do their job. So of course this wasn't getting done. A little salty about it, as you can tell.
No, of course.
But
as you should be.
Yeah. This was a humane society, so there was a lot of people who would come here and would do community service for like if they got tickets or fines or things like that. They would come here for community service to, you know, to avoid paying the fine. They would do community service. You know, and I think instead of turning people away, I would let people work, right? Because that's what that's what they're here to do. So if the people who took care of the dogs didn't need somebody, I would always take them in the cat area, and basically I would have them like clean out the cat litter pots or whatever. One day a lady came in and she was doing it, and she was super sweet, and she was actually doing a good job, because some of them just like I don't know how to say half A without the A word. I don't know if that's a curse on your thing, but she's actually doing a really good job. She's very sweet, very talkative, and I enjoyed having her around. And I was like, you know, she was like, I'll do whatever, and I was like, okay, that's great, because most people don't want to scoop used cat litter. They have like a thing against it. So, yeah, that was great. And I was like, you know what I could do? I could make little so before they had some pieces of paper that had like the name of the cat, the breed, and all this and that, and I was like, oh, I could do that while this person's here. They could do the litter scoop stuff that I usually do, but while they're here I could have them do that, and then I will do this extra thing for my manager. That way she doesn't have to do it. It'll be like a little surprise or something like that. I was like, you know, like, surprise, like, you needed this done, let me do it for you, I've got it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was just like taking a marker and writing their name, and not rocket science, I'll say. And even if it was not the right way, it was still like a nice placeholder, you know. And you know, I was giving this lady a chance to do her hours. And then other times, you know, if someone was there for community service, then I would go do like deep cleaning on certain parts, because we needed the whole place like deep cleaned, otherwise they would get shut down. So I would do something else while someone was doing my regular job. So that's kind of what it was. So that day I made all these name tags and stuff, I guess name tags kind of for all the cats, and I hung them all up and everything like that. And I was like, wow, I hope my manager really likes this, because like I was just trying to do something really good for her, so she didn't have to do it. And then I woke up the next day to a very passive-aggressive text message in the group chat, and it was basically, she didn't say my name, but it was basically like calling me out, like, you guys do not need to do my job because it makes me look incapable of me doing my job, or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, I had a conversation like that yesterday with my boss.
Uh-oh. What happened?
No, you're good. I relate to what you said right now.
Oh, okay, yeah. And like, you know, I was only trying to help, you know, like, you've been meaning to do this. You've been saying that you've been meaning to do this. I gotta go sleep. I had help that was great and fabulous. I was doing this extra bit because it needed to be done. So there's that. And then, it was a whole long message. I may still have it, but it doesn't matter. But the guy who, there was a weird dynamic between this guy who's like 23 and the manager who was like 36. I mean, it's whatever. But there's just a weird dynamic. They just hung out in the office and gossiped all day instead of doing work, which I said before I hated. I just didn't think it was right for the animals' sake.
Yeah.
He backs it up after her message and said something like, I mean, I can't think of it word for word because it's been so long, but it was basically like, my ex, who used to do the job that I had done, could do a better job in 5 hours than whatever I was doing.
What's the point of saying that?
They were just being really mean. I don't know. I can't remember exactly, but it was basically that, but like longer and more passive aggressive. But for everybody to see, right?
Yeah.
And then her high school best friend, who also picked up jobs, he picked up like a shift here and there for that as well, commented on it like, yeah, you know, and they were just like throwing me under the bus. I'm like, dude, like,
that's
what?
So dumb.
Yeah, so no, I woke up and I was like, was like, oh, I'm so glad, like, hopefully she'll really appreciate it. I did this extra stuff for her, whatever. And now I woke up to her being like, you guys don't need to, you don't need to make it look like I can't do my own job. And I was like, I'm not trying to do that. If you feel that way, maybe you should evaluate your work ethic if you feel like someone helping you.
Or at least check your ego.
Felt something there. Yeah, like, I don't know. Oh, it's just so weird. And then, yeah, he had the audacity to be like, my ex could do better.
There's no point
And
in
I
saying
was
that.
like, excuse me? Yeah, no, exactly. It was very hurtful. No, I woke up and I saw that and I just like started crying.
No.
Yeah, no, I was because like all I cared about was like the animals, right? I was like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be helpful. Yeah, and they're just so hateful. Yeah, so at that point we were just having a hard time. Like, we were only living here because I still had this job and I felt like I had a duty to be there for all the animals and stuff like that. We decided that we don't need to live in that state no longer because that was the only thing holding us back, because we had both lost our jobs that we moved there for.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so yeah, it was not great. It's not great, but it brought us back to where I am now, which I much prefer. Just a much more peaceful place to be.
I'm glad, yeah.
Where you grow up, yeah. But yeah, no, so I was like super paranoid because I'd never like left a job. Like, I've never quit a job. If I quit a job, then like I put in a 2 weeks. It's always been like, I never burn bridges. It's it's just not cool. But no, I was like so offended. I was like, how dare they? So I sent a message, an email. This might have been a little aggressive, but I think it should have been. I think this was kind of worth. But I pretty much emailed the owner of the Humane Society. I was like, I am resigning today, and I just want to let you know what is happening in this facility. They're trash talking me or whatever, and they're basically said I think I probably put screenshots of the conversation. I don't know. And I said, oh, also, these people would make fun of people who come in to donate. So if there was people who'd come in to donate like blankets or even food and stuff like that, they would make fun of them, be like, psh, why would our animals want that, or something like that. They would make fun of them. It was really sad. They made me throw away like this food because they're like, that food's weird for the cats. And I'm like, these cats are freaking homeless. Like, I don't think they're gonna really care.
Yeah.
Like, why not try and see if they'll eat it? I don't know. They just didn't care. They would throw food away. Wasn't very great. I was like, this is what's going on. This is what they've done. They sit on their butt and gossip about people for like 4 hours. So from like 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. they were sitting there, and these are full-time people. They're just sitting in the office on their phones. And they would make fun of people's applications and all this just so toxic stuff. It just wasn't cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's kind of the gist. So
That is crazy.
I told the lady, I was like, yeah, this is what happened. This is what happened. Oh, I have my lights are on. I wonder if I still have the email. Let me see.
I was
What
really
it
hoping,
called?
like, when you were coming to end the story, I was like, please quit on the spot. Please quit on the spot.
Oh yeah, I totally did.
Oh
I've
my
never done that
gosh.
before, but I was just
No, that's
but
awesome.
it was so hard to do that though, because I was like, who's gonna take care of those cats now?
No, I was the same way.
Yeah, I titled it "Immediate Resignation." Oh, this is so long. Oh, this is so cringy. Let me see if I can. I said, I have never in my life quit a job without a 2 weeks notice, but recent experiences have compelled me to make this difficult choice.
Very strong opening.
Oh yeah. Well, I said some other stuff, but I'm kind of glossing over this. Let's see.
Yeah.
I pretty much said like I put my best efforts towards the welfare of the animals. I've tried to consistently work hard. I take minimal breaks, and I've deep cleaned several spaces within the cat room in preparation of the inspection. In addition to my normal workload, and unfortunately, the criticism and negative comments, both direct and indirect, have created a work environment I can no longer endure. And here's where I got a little sassy. I didn't get sassy, but like, if you could like professionally write sass, this is how I would view it. I said, it is disheartening to witness the misuse of time and resources by coworkers who spend considerable hours on their phones, grocery shopping on company time, or even taking 2 to 3 hour lunch breaks while criticizing others rather than fostering a productive environment. I've witnessed several times the trashing of donated items, including food, and then the donors being made fun of after they leave. Let's see. The time spent playing on phones in the office could be put towards deep cleaning and maintaining other parts of the shelter, instead of blaming me for the uncleanliness. It's sad to see that the coworkers that put in consistent efforts and buy things for the shelter with their own money to be blamed for things.
Oh, no.
So there's several people who would do that too. Like they would just do more for the animals because they just love the animals.
Yeah.
And like these people just didn't care. I take pride in working hard because I know if I did not, that money could have been used for the betterment of the animals. Which is true. Like I didn't want to like slack or anything because this money is for something greater than me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Apparently, one of the recent issues involving my work hours have been added to my frustration. I asked management if I could be allowed more work hours. In doing so, I could help deep clean. I discussed budget constraints when asking for more hours, and was only told it was fine just to work more. If I knew there was a budget, like I asked, it would have prevented this difficult situation. Instead of being addressed personally, several unprofessional group texts to all employees were sent out that called out everything they perceived I did wrong. I was both directly and indirectly called out in front of the entire staff and compared to previous, and this is a quote from the guy who compared me to his ex-girlfriend, lazy employees who could at least make the cat room look half decent in 5 hours. I have never experienced this level of unprofessionalism. I could not work in such a hostile environment. Oh, that's so dramatic. Well, I think I used ChatGPT to help me write this.
Oh, let's go.
And then I said, I'd like to express that my actions, such as sending photos of the dogs, as per one of the founders' requests, they had asked me if I would send photos of the dogs, which is usually the manager's job to take like cute photos of the animals, but she wasn't there that day, and so this lady was like, "Hey, will you send these to me?" Because there were new dogs that had come in, and I was like, she had requested me to do it, and she also requested me to use this new food that they had gotten, like a huge free shipment and like huge pallets of food, but this all went bad in April, like a couple months. I think I left in like early January or early February, so the food, like all this canned food, would go bad in April, and so she was like, "Hey, here's this donated food. I want you to use this, so it doesn't go bad." And I think I had sent in the group chat like, "Hey, the founder, one of the people on the council, I guess, yeah, one of the people in the council has this food. It expires in April, and she wants us to use it." And that made the manager mad because I was telling them what to do, and I'm like, I wasn't really telling you what to do. I was just relaying what one of the council members said, and I think it's kind of common sense. It shouldn't be something that a manager has to say. So they were really mad at me about that. And I'm like, okay. I said it was not in a way to act as a manager, because they were saying that I was trying to act as a manager. I said, I don't believe these decisions to use food that expired soon required a manager when the board member told me to do it. Additionally, here we go. Recognizing the need for collars with names and updated cage cards for all the animals. Like they have like their own cages and they're supposed to have their name. Legally, they're supposed to have like their name and I guess like intake date or something on it. I took the initiative to address this issue that had been a frequent complaint among the team of something that needed to be done. My intention was to alleviate the workload that pertained to the cats, but unfortunately my efforts seemed to insult management because it would make them look incapable of their job. Direct quote, apparently. But yeah, so I had already worked a bunch, and she had complained, about my workload and not being able to pay or whatever. And so I put that in there too, and I was like, just to show you that, I'm not here for the money or trying to be a bad person. I said, just take my remaining hours and consider it volunteer hours. You don't have to pay me for that.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, I appreciate the opportunity to work here, but I hope there's a lot of positive changes that could happen to, benefit both the organization and the animals it serves. So that's kind of what I said.
Very well done.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was rough. It was a very hard time.
Oh no.
That's kind of like, yeah, we kind of hit like rock bottom, it felt like last year, a year and a half ago. So we had to move back, live with some parents for a while, because it's just really hard to find anywhere to live in this area that wasn't taken. So that took a while, but we're great now. We have
awesome.
an apartment. It's great. We both have jobs. We're both pursuing another degree, and yeah, so
that is awesome.
But that's kind of the little tea thing. I'm sure it would have been better when I was, better told when I was spicy about it. But, but yeah, I think there's a lot to learn with that, and I remember apparently my uncle had heard about it, and he was like, you're above this kind of attitude that these people have. Like, you don't need to reduce yourself to this, people's standards that are jealous of someone trying to help,
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I don't know. Have you ever had any experience like that or anything?
Gina, I'm on the spot.
No, you're good. I don't know how these work. I don't know.
Honestly.
Oh, you said that you had like a similar experience with the whole like managers getting offended that you're doing extra work or something because you're just trying to help out.
Oh yeah, it was literally. I think I'm so messed up in like my days and my weeks. Like I don't even know what day of the week it is anymore. Like since we've been back from our trip, like having like I never have 2 days off in a row, so it's crazy. So having like four off in a row was like really nice, and I think warranted. But then coming back and having to work 11 days in a row, like I think I'm on like day 6.
That's rough.
And I got like 5 more to go, so I'm almost there. Like it's not that bad. Like yesterday I was at work and we were having like a lot of like technical difficulties and stuff, and like we have like somebody that we reach out to for help to come resolve these issues. And there's like a group chat that like all of us like upper position people are in, and I'm like, hey, like this is what's going on. But before I had gotten to work, somebody there was already like, hey, this is what's going on. I reached out to them already, and we're gonna wait and see like what happens. And I'm like, okay, like I have nothing here to do, right? Even though I was like, I guess in charge that day during that time. And I'm like, great, well, I appreciate you doing that. Like that's one less thing that I have to worry about now. Whatever. And I take a look at it, and like I've got enough experience and stuff. Like I used to work with somebody at a different place, so same job, just a different like location. That was like our tech guy that would fix everything and go out to all the other places and fix things. So I like picked up a lot of stuff working with him, and I think like mechanically inclined to where like I like understanding how things work, and then wanting to fix something, it makes sense in my brain, So,
oh man, I wish I had that.
So I was like, okay, dude, like let me take a look at this real quick. And sure enough, like I had it fixed, like no problem, right? We've had several issues like in the past month where I was like, dude, like our guy is like booked up, like he's not gonna be here. Like let me do as much as I can without overstepping things or like making it worse. Like I'm not qualified or trained to do like everything to resolve the issue, but I know enough to where it's like, hey, I can try a couple things that he would try before he gets here, and we can narrow it down and value his time a little bit better. And so yesterday they're like, hey, like we appreciate you like knowing how to like fix all of these things and do all this stuff, but like when you don't communicate what's going on, we don't appreciate that. And we really should be saving it for our tech guy or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, and then they like pointed out something like that was completely out of anybody's control, even like the tech guy. Like there was just nothing that could be done. We had to have like everything like ripped out and replaced. It was just like out of our hands at that point. And it happened when I was working, and I was like, hey, I communicated in the group chat with everybody. You can, pull it up and look for yourself if you don't believe me. And besides, I was the person in charge that day, so I was like, hey, I'm just doing the best I can, like, whatever. And they're like, like, this was a really, not like a poor example they used, but they're like, we just don't want to have an issue like this. Like, if you had communicated sooner, we sooner could have had a different plan made and executed it differently in a more effective, like, time frame. And I'm like, no, there's absolutely nothing you could do, because I was doing it for my entire shift, like the entire morning and afternoon, and nobody came until like I went home is when somebody could get out there, and I'm like, at that point it was out of everybody's hands. So I'm like, okay, like that wasn't even on me, and it wasn't even something that could have been done. So I was like, and then I think all this was because they were like feeling butthurt because I have like a new boss, and I don't think they like me.
Oh, they don't like you?
I know. I'm not a very likable person, believe it or not. I don't think so.
What?
No. And I think they were just butthurt because they were like, hey, I was here and you didn't tell me there was an issue. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even know that there was an issue at the time because, one, it was handled already before you walked in. And two, I wasn't the person that said there was an issue. The person that was there before me said there was an issue and communicated with the people that needed to be in the know, Like the tech guy and like one of my bosses. So I was like, when you showed up, new boss, it was already handled, So I was like, if they want to feel butthurt about that, then okay, I'm sorry,
It's just, it just baffles me that people get so offended
and
that
I was like,
people do a good, like, they want to do more, and they do more.
And it wasn't like, I can like, so every time like I think about stuff like that, I'm like, okay, if I was in their shoes, which I have been in that position before, how would I feel if this was going on and like I had no idea? I'd probably ask for the same amount of communication, but if I'm like, hey, I have somebody that's working right now that can pretty much handle it and knows to ask for help when they're in over their head and they can't do anything, like then we're good, But also it's like I trust everybody I work with to be like, hey, like there was an issue, I fixed it, no problem, because there's a small hiccup with stuff. What day was Tuesday? Whatever that was. And I was by myself for like hours, and it took me all morning to like get it fixed, and I fixed it, and I was like, hey, just a heads up, this is what happened, this is what I did to fix it in case it comes up. They're like, well, did you let the tech guy know? And I'm like, well, no, because you can, the problem, the fix was super easy. It took absolutely no effort. It was just like diagnosing it was what took me all morning,
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, no, like we don't need to drag him out here to do this if it acts up. Let's try this, and if it doesn't work, then like, yeah, let's give him a call, I was like,
yeah, if you can fix it without having to like get somebody else.
Yeah.
It's easier.
Plus, especially because it's like one guy with like his family, and he's responsible for like dozens and dozens of other things and places to be, and like I've met him before, and like we've worked on stuff together because it's like, hey, like I have so little time to, like, issues pop up every day, so he's just constantly bouncing back and forth between all these different places. So, and he's like, hey, if I come out there, like, let's have some stuff like narrowed down, like what do I need to bring, what do I need to, like, what calls do I need to make and stuff. So I was like, yeah, it's just common sense. So I was like, I definitely don't think I'm stepping on anybody's toes. I can understand if I could have communicated better, right, or sooner. Okay, I will admit that, but at the same time, I'm like, no, there was no problem to communicate. By the time anybody showed up, it was all fixed, like, in both cases. But if that's what they want to,
like,
decide
yeah,
to get
it's
on
like
me about whatever.
In those cases, like, you would think people would be like, oh my gosh, you're a lifesaver. Like, thank you so much for solving this problem. I'm so glad that we didn't have to involve IT in your case, that's just one less thing we had to do because you're just here to help,
Yeah.
And now they're like, no, I'm offended because you did something to help our company.
And the part that was like when my new boss was there, I would have loved if they said like, hey, like next time just like give me a heads up because I was the one here and I would have loved to have been in the loop. And again, I was the one communicating the issues because I wasn't the one that reported it or anything. But I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, it was fixed before you got here. I didn't,
Yeah. Oh, it irks me.
I know. And then like today, I was talking to my boss about how, because like let's be like the business is open like 24/7, pretty much, right?
Mhm.
And
Right.
I'm scotch free. Like I'm so available to work whatever whenever they need, you know. So now it's like I got asked to like be a coach for like a track team at one of the schools I went to
Uh-huh.
here in town. So I was like, and they're paying
Oh,
me,
that's cool.
So I was like,
Ooh,
you know,
perfect.
I'm happy to contribute, help out the kids. Like, you know, it sounds fun. I've never coached before, but you know, I've done track before, so I was like, yeah, I can do this. You know,
That's awesome.
yeah, and so me and one of my buddies we're gonna do it together because it's kind of like we're both idiots, so it's kind of a lot to get ourselves into, you know. So I was like, all week I was like, hey, so and so, boss man, like I got to talk to you about my availability that I need to change here. Like, I need things like set up like pretty much like as soon as possible because I have to go out to the school. I have to do like a bunch of like certification to work with the kids and be like the school is like hiring me, you know. So I got to go through all that stuff.
Right.
So I was like, hey, like this is what is happening. This is my plan for like my schedule to be just until like the end of May, pretty much, which is not that long. It's 2 months, like 8 weeks. And my boss was like, you know, we're gonna have to have a talk with the other like leadership management team about you changing your availability. And I'm like, no, we don't need to. Why? Like, you know, we don't need to involve anybody else. Like, this is my thing. Nobody else needs to get involved. One, they were like, you know, like, I guess we're having some new people come aboard and they were gonna have me, you know, train them and get them up to speed with everything and whatnot, which is I've done like hundreds of times, so I enjoy it, except for the person that we just recently picked up. I made a video about.
Was that the kid?
Yeah. So I was like, I'll be the bigger,
I follow.
I'm an adult, right? It's no biggie. You know, I'll put him in his place if I have to, whatever. They're like, well, you're gonna work like nights with him and stuff. And I was like, dude, like I can't.
No.
Like 4 days, like Monday through Thursday, right? In the afternoons and like evenings, like I can't because I gotta go to the school in the afternoon, and then like I have to be able to eat, and then you know at that point, like there's like nobody else is gonna like come on and close out the day, you know. So they're like, well, that kind of ruins everything. And I'm like, no, it really doesn't. Okay, like just there's so many different ways you can sit down and make sure this guy is, you know, qualified and trained in all the right places at all the right things and stuff. Like, it doesn't have to be with me. I'm flattered you want me to do it because, you know, I'm so experienced or whatever, but like it doesn't have to be that way. Okay, like you don't need to make me do that. But she was like, well, then we don't, I don't know what we're gonna have to do, so we're gonna have to sit down with everybody and figure this out. And I'm like, we don't need to, right? Just like
they want you to figure it out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And
they
I was
want
like
to guilt you.
I wasn't like I don't know what the right word is, like I guess salty. I was like, you guys like use and abuse me so much, and I'm like trying to like you know, like it's okay to have a second job at this place. It's okay to do school and pursue higher education or different whatevers you want, you know. And I was like, I've never asked for anything, you know. I put in a formal leave vacation time. It got approved. You guys called me 4 times asking me to come in and fix stuff for you. Okay, I was on my vacation.
Are you
guys
serious?
didn't leave. Yeah.
I freaking knew it.
Yeah,
I freaking knew it.
I know. I was like, the entire
I was about to ask. There's no shot they didn't call you.
No, I was like, yeah, the entire trip, and it happened like the first 2 days. So I was like, okay, like it wasn't every day, you know, but it was like twice one day, and then one day, twice one day, and then like one the day after, and it was 2 different people. So I was like, yeah, you guys aren't communicating and stuff right now. But I was like, I had this leave-in, and you guys totally didn't, you know, check that or whatever. Fine, it's all good. But I've never asked for anything from you guys. And now that I'm just being like, hey, like I'm like giving back and like trying to do something good, because I think like teaching kids is awesome, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And plus my boss supposedly did track in college, so I'm like, hey, like you get what I'm doing, you know, like this is cool. We're not going to say no that you can't do that, but we're definitely going to need to sit down and talk about what things are going to look like for you. And I'm like, okay, man, okay, sure.
Definitely, they're just trying to guilt you so they have to do less work. They're like, let's just manipulate Shuirozen.
And I explained it very nicely, like, hey, like I got this offer to go coach, and I was really excited about it, and they're paying me, so I want to accept it, and of course have my priorities, you know, squared away with my commitment to you guys as well as to the school, because I will be an employee with them for a very short time. So everything I want to do and have to do for them is basically when they tell me and need me to do it, you know? So this is like, how do we compromise, meet in the middle, right? Totally felt like
They're gaslighting you.
yeah, and I was like, dude, it was so mind-boggling. I'm not gonna read the text.
Yeah, with all the hard work.
I'm not gonna read the text or anything, but I was
Oh,
like,
come
dude,
on, read the text.
no,
I read
no,
my
no,
email.
no.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I would, but I was like,
No,
dude,
you're
it's
good.
like, it's not. I was like, it's not worth it. Like at the end of the day, I was like, I don't care. So I was a little salty about that today. Kind of rubbed me the wrong way, you know. I was like,
that would rub me the wrong way. Well, maybe, you know, the track thing could turn into something more long term. I'm not quite sure how that works.
I kind of hope not, because I have no idea what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like,
hey, I have no idea what I'm doing every day
that's
as a teacher. So
I guess so.
just kind of wing it. I just wing it. You just wing it.
Yeah. It's like some of my best memories from like being a kid was like doing this track stuff. You know, I did it in like middle school, elementary school, and like high school and stuff. Anyway, so okay, so basically what I was saying was like best memories like being like a teenager kind of, or like when I did track with my friends and like got to goof off and go to all these different events and finals and stuff and like have fun, you know. So I was like, I didn't have like good coaches or anything, like nothing special or memorable, but I was like, no, like this is like, I enjoyed it so much. I was like, I want nothing more than like these kids to like be able to enjoy it too. So I'm really excited about it. I'm doing like a lot of like planning and stuff. Plus I'm like, haven't ran in a while, so I'm like trying to get back into that and stuff. So I'm really putting like my all into it, just like I do that with everything, which is why it always like sucks.
That's
and
awesome.
not stuff goes wrong, but like, or it doesn't work out, but like you get taken advantage of, you know. Okay, no, that's like what my last tea time video was about. Was like, I don't even remember what I called it because it's like so late. It's so late for you. I can't believe that.
It's all good.
Thank you for
I'm wide
hopping
awake.
on late. Yeah. Okay. Oh no.
Yeah, no. I was looking forward
Yeah.
to tell the world about my story.
I feel like I
People
have
made me cry.
No, that's the worst.
Yeah.
I worked a lot of jobs where people are like, you know, you don't get the full experience unless like you cry here and have like a rough day. And I was like, I never did, not because like, oh, I don't cry or whatever like that. But I was like at the end of the day, like it's a job. Like, you know, I'm gonna clock in, and then eventually I'm gonna be able to clock out, and I'm gonna go home, and you know, this day is gonna be all behind me. Were there days? Yes. You know, were there days where I probably smashed my fist into the wall? Yeah, but you know, none of that ever happened. But I don't know. So it's been as I've gotten older, I've just realized more and more how much like I guess like my work and stuff is taken for granted. So I'm excited.
Right there with you.
I'm excited to work with kids where like they're gonna appreciate everything I do. Hopefully. I don't know what kids are like these days.
They might just make fun of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like
know.
Sigma Riz. Something. Ew.
But if they want to be like, dude, I'll just make them run laps. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's like each time I hear Sigma Riz skippity doodly doo,
That's such a good
you'll
idea.
run.
That's such a good idea. Oh my gosh. But I've never been like one to be like the bad guy. I'm like, okay guys, like let's refocus, you know, like, you know, we're here to have fun and do some work.
Oh, you're the gentle parenting.
I think so. I feel like because we have to make like a syllabus and like a contract for the kids to sign and bring home to their parents and stuff like that. And I'm like, shucks, I've never done that before. So I was like, you know, and like,
Hey, I can help. I've made plenty of those.
Okay, dope. You know, and you got to give like the speech on the first day of practice and stuff. And I was like, look, if you guys want to, like, me and like my buddy are here to like help you guys have a great season, have lots of fun. If you guys want to work hard, we're here to help you work hard. And if you don't, then, you know, like, we're just gonna, you know, not do anything, and that's gonna be your guys' loss or whatever. Like, that's basically like, we just want to do whatever the kids want, you know?
Right.
But if there's like, you know, kids are so unpredictable.
Yeah, it doesn't change. No matter how old they get.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love these little bushes. These look so good.
Bushes, yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no, I teach college, and this the same. I was like, listen, you guys are adults. I'm not going to take attendance because you're adults. And then they don't show up. And I'm like, oh, okay.
They're paying a very hefty amount of tuition to not show up.
Oh yeah. And they're like, can I make up my homework? And I was like, no.
No, absolutely not.
I don't want to grade that. No.
No.
No,
Why
I
is it
actually do let them because I feel
No.
guilty.
Okay, well, it's not. It's like I would tell him, be like, hey, it was your choice not to do it the first time. Why is it fair that you make me have to grade it a second time?
Yeah.
I feel like
Ooh,
that's the way I
that's
would
a
be.
good one.
That is very good. I did a little bit of teaching here and there,
Ooh, okay. Yeah, no.
but I was
But
always
some
like,
of them.
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was always like, I was a teacher. I was like, okay, like I'll meet with you extra. Like we'll get it done together. I just want you to succeed. This sucker.
Yeah. Yeah, they really conned you into it.
Oh, absolutely.
They're good at that. I mean, I've tried to like be stern, but I can't be.
I want to come to
Like
one
I'll
of these
come home
classes.
and no, you don't.
I'll sit in the back. I'll learn so much. I'll be such a good student.
Please. I will literally say something and then they'll be like, "What?" I'm like, "I said that like 2 seconds ago. Like if you would just listen." It's so impossible sometimes. No, I had a student and I was trying to be like, the rule is it has to be turned in by 11:59 p.m. And, I was, the student was just very not technical. And I get it. I've been there, but this is also a very technical degree. If you don't know how to do something, you should ask or have somebody confirm. So we have like a website called D2L. It has their assignments, right? Like their interface, whatever you call. Yeah, and they turned it in, but they turned it in as a comment instead of like actually turning it in the thing. So like I can't see anything. Like they just made a note for themselves essentially. And they're like, "Well, I turned it in." And I'm like, "Well, I didn't get it." And they're like, "Well, I turned it in." And I'm like, "Okay, I guess you can turn it in." Just like caves so quickly. They were mean to me.
No,
they were so mean.
bro.
They were so mad. I can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah, I'm weak.
I kind of wish I could go back with like the experience in like schooling I've had now. Go back to like high school or even like college again, and like watch and like the disrespect that is had in there.
So
I might be going back to school. I'm really considering it right now to get my
really?
my EMT
Ooh, that'd be cool.
stuff. I've been learning a lot about it this past week, and looking into it
I
at
think
like
you
my
do
local
great with
college.
that.
See, I don't know. I'm kind of an idiot, so
You gotta quit that.
the way I think about it is like, right, if I can't eat 2 meals a day, how the heck am I supposed to help somebody like save their life?
Hey, listen, you can give advice to people, but that doesn't mean that you take your own advice, you know what I'm saying? It's the same principle. Like, you can help people, but not help yourself, so it's fine. As long as you know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I guess, but I'm like, I've been saying like, I've been saying for a long time, like, I gotta take my own advice, like, so much better. Like, I can't not practice the things I'm preaching.
Right.
So I'm working on it.
It's hard though.
It is hard, but I'm really looking into it, and I was like, I kind of miss being like at school. Like I'm like doing nothing right now. Like I technically don't even need my degree for this job, right? So it's like, what am I doing? And I'm not interested in like, well, one, a promotion is probably not coming my way to make it worth staying. So it's just like kind of a good temporary spot for me where I have time and stuff to focus on what I want to do. And it's only like 1 semester of schooling. It's offered in the summer, and I'm like, hey, like I have people that I can talk to and stuff about this more. And so it's something I'm thinking about, which has been it's been kind of fun.
I'd say go for it, because I don't think you're very happy where you're at. I mean, you want to help people, and that's just like, and it seems you're a very hard worker, and that seems to be the job that needs hard workers. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what California is like, but they have like different shifts here. So they have like, I think newer people will do like 24-hour shifts, and then as you get better, you can go down to like your regular 9 to 5, or I mean, like your regular 8-hour shift. So.
Yeah, like my friend Brett in the Discord, because he's in Tennessee as well. He was like, I think he does 24-hour shifts, and I was like, oh, I can't imagine.
Well, you get to sleep though. Well, sometimes.
Yeah, he says he takes he's able to sleep a couple hours every now and then and whatnot. And I was like, I have a friend that from high school that does it, and I got to reconnect with him like at this job. So I just haven't.
Yeah.
I got to reach out to him and ask him more about it. But I don't know what the shifts are like. I think they're 12 hours roughly in like my part of the city and stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I think it's definitely something you could do. And plus, it's a lot nicer because the shifts are so long. So you only work, like, if you work a 24, you work like 124, then you have like 2 weeks off. So it's like, you know, it's pretty insane, like the amount of downtime because you have to recover after working a 24.
I think it's
So
3 days on, 4 days off kind of deal, like 12s.
if you do, yeah,
I think here.
which wouldn't be too bad.
That's not terrible. I mean, I used to do like 10 to 12 hour days, 6 days a week at my corporate job. So yeah, I looking back, I'm like, dude, I have no idea how I didn't like, hey, like when I went to work. So I'm like looking back, I'm like, I have no idea what got me through it. It's just like sheer willpower.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I think that would be a really good thing. You should look into it.
I have been. It's been exciting.
And
It's been a little overwhelming, but yeah.
Leave these mean old people who don't appreciate your hard work.
I know, it's so crazy. I'm like, at the end of it, like, the job isn't that serious, right? Like a monkey can do it. It's not that big of a deal.
A monkey can do it.
That's what I say all the time, and I'm like, you know, they're paying me like stupid amount of money to do it. And I'm like, it's nice, I appreciate it and whatnot, you know. But I'm like, let's not make it more than it is. That's something like I'm always preaching. I'm like, dude, like it's just this or it's just that, like, you know.
Right, yeah.
Like, let's not overthink it. And the part, like I said, like my last like tea time was like, there are so many people that just show up, like kind of don't care, go home, and like nothing bad comes their way. Right, they're praised just as much as everybody else. You know, they're respected. So I'm like, dude, like I'm doing all this, and I'm not doing it because like I need my gold star at the end of the day or employee of the month, which we don't even do, right? But I'm like, I'm just doing it for me because I'm like, I know this is what needs to be done, and like it fulfills my, you know, it fills my cup to like work this hard and get everything done. Like that's what gets me through the day.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you.
Exactly.
So in conclusion, I guess we'll say managers suck and the employees are better. No. Yeah, I don't know. What's a good lesson to be learned from all of this?
Oh goodness. I feel like it's more along the lines of like know your worth, and then like have boundaries and know when it's like, you know, time to move on. Like don't be afraid to move on.
Yeah.
Just like how you did. It took me forever to move on from my corporate job because I felt bad. And
right. No, I hate it too.
I just didn't like the work, like the type of work I had to do, like the people I had to interact with. Like I felt bad leaving, going home at the end of every day. Like I was like, man, like that sucked. Hearing and seeing like the stuff that people were like going through, like the amount of abuse I had to take in for the day. But like the people I worked with, like were cool. It was the best boss I've ever had, and I learned it was worth just working however long I did there just to learn so much from him. And then like the company was okay, like the benefits and structure was like, it was pretty fair. In all honesty, there's nothing against that. I don't really miss the long days, of course. I don't miss like having to wear a suit in 120-degree California weather.
Oh, you had to wear a suit?
Oh yeah. I don't miss kind of having to drive like 4 hours for out of town to like do like a week, you know, away. Oh my goodness.
Oh no, a child. No. Oh, they so. You got it, Tristan.
I don't know why I'm hitting him, but I'm not. I think it's my ping.
No, their hitbox is so small. It's so hard to hit them.
Yeah, but I don't miss like the work trips where I drive like 4 hours and like be away from home, you know.
That's fair. Yeah.
The company lunches weren't even that good when they're like, oh dude, like we're gonna take you out to a fancy like dinner and lunch and stuff. I'm like, no, it's like not that, it's not that good, okay? I had better food when I was on my own. When I was like, I'm craving this and I don't have this at home.
Dang.
Yeah.
No perks, huh?
There were some, like company car and stuff. Like
you had a company car?
So I would have to take my car to work, but anytime I needed to like travel or leave or do anything, it was like company car. So I mean, in that regards, I did like, you know, pretty much I would just drive it. Yeah, just drive my car to and from work, and then that was it. Work trips, company car, like across town for stuff, like go to vendors and stuff, like company car. So it was cool.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm,
You
yeah,
didn't have to waste your gas.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I can't think of any other benefits than that. Good experience, I guess. Like in all honesty,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm way
Something good came
I'm
out of it.
overqualified for I feel like a lot of things now based on that experience. But
Wonderful. Do you want to try the Electro before you
okay,
go?
I'm scared. I don't want something bad to happen.
Nah, you just fly. So, yeah. Okay, put those on,
Okay.
and then put the rockets. And to use the rockets, you'll kind of jump, and while you're in the air, you right click, like jump, right click, and it'll shoo. But make sure you don't run into a building.
Wait, I'm right clicking. Lucy, did I break it?
Oh, you did it.
No,
I
no,
think-
no, 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 no. It's not working.
Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, we're getting mauled here.
It's not working. I haven't used these before. I don't know how to do it.
I can't multitask. Okay.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Wow. Keep going. Maybe like double click. Double click the spacebar.
This is cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is so speedy.
Oh yeah, it's so much faster. We'll have to get you one.
No, I'm scared. I don't want to go back to the end.
No. Have someone pay somebody.
Oh, that's.
I paid for mine. I'm not gonna. I paid Dan to give me one. I was like, Dan, give me some rockets and an elytra, bud. I'm not doing that.
I saw that in the Discord. Like Dan grinded that.
Did he? That's fine. That's perfect. I didn't have to do it.
I guess I'll have to do that. I need more diamonds.
I like this little building. It's like a little shop.
I like that. I'm gonna put a villager in there. I just haven't. I've been lazy because I didn't know how to like keep him.
You should make it a little tea shop.
Oh my gosh, that's such a
'Cause
good
it looks
idea.
like
Oh
it looks
my
like a
gosh.
little
Okay.
little Asian tea shop.
Okay. I think. Okay, what do you
You know
think?
what I'm
I think I'm gonna rip this
That's
building down.
adorable.
I think I'm gonna rip this building down.
Huh?
I just don't like it.
Why?
I don't like it. I don't know what to do with the inside. And it came out so much bigger
I
than
just-
It came out so much bigger than I wanted it to.
I just made a road.
We'll put something here still, but like it's so bigger than I wanted to. Like they're just meant to be like little villager houses, and like this is like I don't even know. What.
Oh, I see.
And this is an okay size. Like this is acceptable. This could be like a tea shop as well.
Oh yeah, this is cool.
It doesn't have a front door yet. I was thinking of putting.
This
it,
is
like,
such
right
a cool
here.
shape.
I
You could make it like a open market. Like leave these like archways, which is really cool,
Ooh.
and have a floor and have like some
Ooh.
market stalls, but it's like covered.
I like that idea
know,
as well. I want to
have
put a
open-
bunch
I don't
more
know.
of these. The roof I struggle with, which is why I think I watched a few videos just to get the kind of idea.
No, this one looks so good.
Like the deception
cool.
was really hard for me to understand.
That's awesome.
So I don't take credit for the roof, in all honesty.
No, I mean, the first roof that I did, I had to look up and
Yeah.
watch or look and see what someone else did. So it's perfectly fine. You learn from observing. Perfectly fine. I mean, if you do want to tear this down, I can help you tear it down sometime and make
Yeah.
more little cute villager houses.
I do. This one came out pretty good. The roof went through a couple different renditions, and I think I'm just accepted this one as I don't want to work on the roof anymore.
No, it's adorable. I like the little front window.
Yeah, I thought those were really
Little
cool.
window shop.
A
Oof,
tea
the
shop
lag
is
is
a
so
good
bad.
idea. Tea shop is a really good idea.
You could like keep because this is really cool. I really like this design. You could keep this and like make a door here, and
Mhm.
then or like
I
make
just didn't know
a
what
door,
kind
but
of
maybe
door to do.
have like an alleyway like right here, and then make this another house.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like kind of like cut it in half.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think the design's cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That's better, Shuirozen. It's better.
I'm working on it.
you're like that's all. It's awful. I hate it.
I also know that if I say thank you, you won't give me a hard time about it.
Oh, see, it's okay. You're learning some way. It's progress, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I do the exact same thing. That's why I preach it because
Mhm.
I have a hard time. I have a hard time with it too.
What do you think? Would you do tea time again?
I would do tea time again.
Okay.
Something, yeah. If I have tea, I will bring the tea to tea time.
Okay, maybe we could think of topics to like discuss.
Ooh,
That
yeah.
might be fun.
I feel like I had some. I can't tell you right now because it's like 1 a.m. and brain has stopped working. But
I don't know. That's so late.
but I could. No, it's fine. I'm wide awake. Kind of. Well, I don't
I'm
know.
so tired.
Yeah, we'll think of something.
Okay. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea because I feel like we think the same way about a lot of things. So that would be fun.
Yeah. Perfect. Yay!
So sick.
Guest on tea time.
Thank you for doing this with me and
Yeah,
for
thank
making it so
you.
late. Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Yeah, I need a screenshot.
Okay, what's good?
I don't know.
Oh, you could get like all 3 of the gates, like right here, like with a. Oh, stand here. I'll send you a screenshot because I got like the Bobby. Do you have the Bobby mod?
Gosh, I don't know if I have it on this version because I had to reset my version because my game kept crashing.
I got it. Ooh, stand over there by the fence, like right here, and I'll get a nice selfie of you. Okay, let's see. Let me.
Wait, and I'll go where you are.
You ready? 3, 2, 1. Say cheese.
Cheese.
Okay, perfect. I'll send that to you.
Okay, dope.
All right, I'm gonna go to bed now. I
Okay.
think. If I
hope
can.
so. Thank you, Lucy.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good night.
You too. I hope you all enjoyed watching. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments if you liked this kind of different video, kind of like having like somebody else to like have a conversation with rather than like just talking on my own, which I still love. I'm still gonna do. But it was so much fun having this late night conversation with Lucy. I think Lucy has so much like great energy and stories and thoughts, and I think we both kind of think the same way. So it was really such a great time. I hope maybe she wants to do it again sometime, but seriously, let me know what you thought of it. If there's any topics maybe you want me and her to discuss, that would be super awesome. But seriously, thank you so much for watching, for taking the time out of your day to be here. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.